guys, 14, 16, 18, giving the freaking job to the 22-year-old people, to the adults, they creating the working space. Today we're gonna be speaking with these guys. Like, you're gonna be fucking shocked about who they are, what they are doing, and especially the secret sauce, how old they are. TikTok Shop. Everyone knows what it's all about. Who doesn't know, you're just missing a lot. Like, you have to dive in if you're in e-commerce. If you're not in e-commerce, you have to start from the TikTok Shop. That's one of the greatest beginning for 2024 is gonna be a journey for you. So let's just figure it out, what those guys are doing and like how exactly it works on their end. So introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Andrew. I've been doing TikTok Shop since it was in beta and before when it was out. First I started off with organic and I was just like, testing it out, testing the orders, and then eventually it got more serious, and then we started an agency, and now we just scale up brands.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
My name is Devan. I started TikTok Shop as well in a similar time with Andrew around June. Since then, I was able to generate multi-seven figures through TikTok Shop using shop ads and affiliate campaigns and a lot of organic marketing. And right now, we're all actually working on a brand that we're building on a 50-50 profit split with Shaquille O'Neal on TikTok Shop. So we're getting big in this space and very, very excited for what's to come.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 18.
I pretty much just copy and pasted these guys, and it's also working for me. So, that's doing pretty well. And we're just scaling our agencies and building on TikTok Shop, building some bigger brands and real brands now.
How old are you?
14.
Wow. 16, 18, 14. TikTok Shops, multiple six figures a month killers. At 14, I was thinking how to date my girlfriend. And I was thinking how, mess the time next to the fucking laptop just to play the games. Like, those guys are crushing it. You are most probably crushing it, I guess, because TikTok is a really new generation platform. Like, I'm already feeling myself as a dinosaur. I'm diving in, I'm trying to understand, I'm understanding the algos, but I'm not that fast for sure as you. And that could be your superpower, I guess. And tell me please, TikTok Shop, why it's so viral? What's the point? How it differs to compare to the Shopify?
Absolutely. So TikTok Shop as a feature is getting pushed out like crazy by TikTok as a platform. And in fact, the last Q4, they lost $500 million. And they did this intentionally to push out the feature. They're offering discounts to customers where the customer can apply a custom code from TikTok where they can get a 40% discount off of that product.
Okay.
And you get that full payout. Let's say you're selling a $10 product. The customer can buy that product for $6, but when TikTok pays you out, they'll pay you out that full $10. So they're really pushing out this feature, offering a lot of really, really cool incentives for both sellers and buyers on the platform. So that's why TikTok Shop is so viral right now. In fact, I bet you didn't know this, in Black Friday, they did more sales than Amazon across TikTok Shop. Is insane. Yeah, absolutely. So the feature is definitely not going anywhere anytime soon, and they're still continuing to scale it and offering these awesome incentives for both the buyer and the seller. And TikTok as a platform, I'm sure you know, it came up from the grave like 5 years ago. A lot of people didn't even know it. I know they did a rebrand, but people didn't even know it existed. So it's scaling very, very hard, very, very fast right now. And we just kind of caught the wave. We saw where the attention was going, and we positioned ourselves in the right place where we could actually catch that attention.
Andrew, is it organic or it's it has to be used ads?
So ads work as well. It's organic, it's affiliates. The organic part of TikTok is the most powerful because that's what separates it. It's probably the #1 organic platform out of everything, I'd say, in terms of selling stuff.
Okay.
The impulse buy factor you get on TikTok, nothing is comparable. I feel like TikTok is definitely the #1 for that and kind of catching people's attention, and getting them to engage with the platform and just keep scrolling. But yeah, it's basically a copy and paste of Amazon, except they have organic and better affiliate system incorporated. They pay sometimes 20 or 30% of the revenue to a creator. With Amazon, sometimes it's 2%. It's completely uncomparable.
Okay, it motivates the creator.
Exactly. It's cheaper, and they're working on getting it quicker. You can't really Chinese dropship on there. So it's just a better Amazon.
Describe for me, please, Andrew, the way how it works. I mean, you said it's organic and paid ads. Paid ads, everyone understanding. Instead of sending traffic to the Shopify shop, you're sending traffic to TikTok shop. So understandable. But organic, it's super viral, it's super profitable. What exactly the structure? How did TikTok make that it's working for everyone?
Exactly. So the #1 thing with organic is just figuring out a way to make content that people would want to engage with. You want people to leave comments, watch all the way through and just like the video, engage with it. They want a good piece of content that people would like. Really, that's number one way to promote products. Giving it to affiliates who have an audience already and having them do the job. They're very skilled at it. That's their full-time job, is just posting content on TikTok. So that's extremely powerful. They have a big creator marketplace. You could message, tens of thousands of creators, try and get them to promote your products, and then they just will post a video. And the good thing about TikTok Shop is, because it's new and they're trying to win the competition, they're pushing the content out way more than normal.
I know that guys who are listening, okay, it's easy to speak about the UGC. I have to send it to some creators, how I will find the creators, for why they would record it for me. So describe in few words, I will just share what I know and you tell me if it's correct and describe maybe something additional. Basically the UGC creators are have incentive from TikTok to record more videos of different products, to get more videos from their site, which is gonna be going viral. And if they want recording enough quantity of videos in a month, it will be downgrade their performance and their show up in front of the audience. So they insist to record more content, which is if you're giving them the product, they have to record it. The product, they have to accept your offer. Otherwise, they could leave going staying without the job. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. So one thing is, bro, these people go viral way easier. I've seen a video get 100,000 views and only 1,000 likes, which you'll never see just posting content. On top of that, they earn heavy commissions. So they can earn, 20 to 30% revenue of all the sales they generate. There's people making, there's creators who can make over 100 grand just from one post. They post a video and they make over 100 grand. It's crazy. Profit.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. In fact, one of my friends who does a lot of content creation on TikTok, he has about 150,000 followers on TikTok and was able to generate $1.5 million for a brand, which earned him $300,000 in pure profit just being a creator.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And there's a store that had 10,000 followers, and they made over $500,000 in revenue 1 month and made $150K profit for themselves. So anyone can do it. You don't need a ton of followers. You don't need an audience. You just gotta learn the skill of going viral and I guess promoting the products as well.
I will just edit some incredible bright thing about that, and after that we'll go to the pitfalls, because not that easy, because otherwise everyone already gonna be millionaires. First of all, the bright thing that TikTok Shop working in that way. You just log in, creating your account, adding the nice product which is supposed to sell. You have to do the research what products are selling actually, and after you just registered the product, you almost instantly can get organic sales without posting even in any UGCs. I personally registered myself on TikTok Shop and I instantly got in the next couple of days 20 orders. It was stupid sick, but true. I haven't posted anything. It was just figure it out. We wait in stock until it arrived to the United States. But the thing is, we made the login details. Bam, 20 orders in 3 days. With doing nothing. It's sick how cool it is. But Calix, please explain me what's the pitfalls and how to deal with that.
I'd say the biggest pitfall is that not everybody can do it. I mean, it seems pretty easy. All you need to do is live in the US if you want a good marketplace, or the UK, which in itself, that's 90% of the world is marked out.
Yeah.
Then along with that, you need a US inventory, and then there's high barrier to entry, and et cetera, et cetera. And then more than anything, a knowledge gap. The thing is, even with that, there are ways to make money on TikTok Shop without even having to be a seller. I mean, like Andrew said before, 18,000 followers, 18,600 followers. That's how many they had. She made $550,000 GMV, not even gross revenue, for that shop, and she took home over 150K herself.
As a creator.
So
you have to just be a good creator with the creative way of thinking to shoot the video for the particular product.
What I'm saying is that TikTok Shop is creating an entire new ecosystem where they're combining affiliates with sellers, seamlessly, all within the same platform, and is creating an entire new marketplace for everyone to get somewhat money.
Fulfillment. Yeah.
What about it?
I mean, this is the biggest pitfall in my opinion for TikTok Shop. They made the straight rules, which is really impressive, because Facebook Shop honestly fucked up and they learn all the lessons and make it the strict rules on the TikTok Shop. How to deal with the fulfillment, that to make sure that your store won't be suspended that your store gonna be actually successful and keep going, delivering results?
I mean, yeah, it's as simple as a knowledge gap. That's all it is. I mean, if you know how to do it, then you can do it. I mean, think about every Amazon seller. They have worse restrictions than TikTok Shop has.
Okay.
It's always been like that way. They want to compete to be the next Amazon. They're taking China to the US marketplace and trying to dominate.
Okay, but tell exactly the steps to avoid to get the good fulfillment system.
Simplest way I put it, ship within 7 days. When you get a new order, put your tracking number and have it processed within 3 days.
Yeah, so what I would normally recommend for anyone who's trying to get into TikTok Shop and maybe doesn't have a lot of e-commerce experience or really a lot of startup capital would be to order bulk off of platforms like Alibaba or something like that to their house. Because what we're doing with all of our brands that are at scale is, of course, we're using warehouses, third-party logistics systems, stuff like that, but that can get really expensive. So if you're looking to start up, minimize risk, stuff like that, I would recommend ordering anywhere from 500 to 1,000 units to start off of Alibaba to your actual location. You could store it in your garage or wherever you have space inside of your house. And from there, you can ship those orders directly out of your house. You can print out those shipping labels once you get an order on TikTok Shop, slap it on the package, bring it to the post office, and from there you can ship out of your house. Then once you start getting a consistent high volume of sales and a high volume of orders, then you could start expanding out, looking for warehouses, looking for 3PLs, stuff like that. But the best way to minimize risk in the beginning and make sure that you're getting those orders dispatched on time is just to ship from your location if you're inside of the United States or the UK or wherever you're staying.
Yeah, like home business, simple home business to start with, generate enough revenue to buy it in bulk to the 3PL company. How much you're making per month with your brand?
Right now, my best brand is making about $250,000 per month.
So you're doing that from June, you said. You generated 7 figures. How many stores do you have right now?
Right now, I manage and operate about 10 stores.
About 10 stores?
Yeah.
How hard to operate so many stores? How many people required?
It definitely requires a team. I have a very, very solid team behind me. I'm very fortunate to have an amazing team behind me. But when you're scaling multiple stores, I do have teams of 5 to 7 people behind these stores. We have like the media buyer, we have the guys who manage operations and stuff like that. But if you're just scaling one TikTok shop, honestly, if you have the resources, if you have the knowledge yourself, you can scale a TikTok shop to multi-6 figures a month solely by yourself.
So what's the average age of your team members? Because like you're super young, and I'm just wondering. I will explain why I ask you later on, but just wondering.
Absolutely, we have a lot of young killers on our team. I mean, our youngest team member is 14 years old, and then we have some who are 20, 30, stuff like that. But the majority is about 15 to 16 years old that works on our team.
Okay, and yours, guys?
About 22. I mean, I don't really like young people that much because I am one, and most of them just suck, to be completely honest. But obviously, there's some unique individuals. I mean, I know other people who are like 14 to 16 making a 200,000 GMV on their stores monthly with TikTok Shop. So obviously, there are exceptions, but you know, I just like hiring them old.
It's mostly just like people who have, some experience in it. It's a lot easier to hire someone, bring them on if they have a track record. But of course, there are like some exceptional people that just we notice are very skilled at it.
Okay, why I ask you about that? Because like, guys, 14, 16, 18, giving the freaking job to the 22-year-old people, to the adults, they creating the working space. Can you imagine what blow mind it is? It's a blowing mind, guys. Tell me please one of the last things. How your parents looks on that?
They didn't believe me for a good amount of time, and until I showed them the numbers, stuff like that.
Now they see the real numbers.
Exactly.
They switched in their.
Absolutely. They definitely switched. In the beginning, they were definitely very, very skeptical, especially about like online money. They didn't think that it actually could exist. They thought I was working and not seeing any results, stuff like that. They tried to get me to pull away to something else, but I kept at it, and eventually they started seeing that success. And it was funny just to see that like 180 that goes on once you actually start pulling a good amount of revenue there. But yeah, it was awesome.
My parents really have always wanted me to go to college, even though my mom never went to college. She dropped out of high school too. But the day that my first wire hit my bank account, I was out of school.
You proved that it works. Yeah. So you proved the concept.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, same thing here. Like, of course, everyone's skeptical because it's like, it's kind of unbelievable. Like, it's hard to believe that that's like possible. But then, yeah, same thing. Once they see the numbers roll in, then they're like, okay, I'm gonna let you keep doing what you're doing. So,
guys, at the end, like as young guys who are killing it, like crushing it, like tell me what your generation, like your classmates, has to do differently to be able to stay on your position like you are right now. What you compare yourself to your classmates, what you have done differently that you are here today?
That's a really, really good question. A lot of our generation in the Gen Z is very, very distracted and not focused. I personally believe this is a byproduct of social media. People are mindlessly scrolling for hours at a time. They have very, very low attention span.
Wasting their time.
Exactly. They don't know how to focus on a task. And a lot of people are in love with the end result, not the process that comes with it. So a lot of my generation, what I see is they want to do something big. And then maybe they'll work at something maybe for a week. They'll put in an hour a day, something like that. And nothing actually comes out of that because, again, they have short attention spans. They don't actually know how to focus on one task at a time for long periods of time, and it's a consistency issue. What I say is my bulletproof formula for winning at almost anything is going to be a 2-ingredient recipe, right? You need consistency and you need volume. If you do a lot of one thing every single day, eventually you're going to get good at it, right? And this is what a lot of the younger generation needs to understand, is they can't just work on a task maybe for a week at a time and expect to go from 0 to 100. There's a lot of unrealistic expectations.
They're spoiled by information online. They think it's like this, but there is a process exist.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah, so what they need to understand is if they can remain consistent and they can do a high level of volume of that task, they're eventually going to get good at it and something's going to actually come from that. But until they actually understand that, they're just going to keep running in circles.
Did you know 60% of teenagers think they're going to be a millionaire by 25? It's crazy. But I mean, so everyone has the same goal. James Clear says it himself in his book. But the main difference is conscientiousness.
That's one golden mine which you said, because I was about to ask, how many books in your age have you read about the business in general? Like, how many books have you read so far?
Only about 20. The main difference...
Only about 20. 6-year-old. I start reading in 26. I'm dumbest. I'm feeling I'm dumbest, seriously.
The main
16
difference...
or about 20.
I mean, I've read about 3 about business. I'm not a big reader.
Still, like, more than me at 18.
Yeah, I mean, I've read a couple of business books, but I'm more of a podcast guy.
You listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I like podcasts.
What's wrong with those guys? Like, okay, is it secret formula to listen successful podcasts to get not just motivation, but as well take the action? What action to take, like formula, step-by-step action?
Yeah, I would say it's really not that important just for jumping into it, because all this knowledge you're getting, all these examples that people are talking about, like, it's not directly gonna just lead you to success. You gotta the first thing is the mindset. You gotta know that, like, you can't just, learn a couple things and just immediately start making money. It's a whole process. You gotta know as much as you possibly can, and then through a lot of testing and trial and error, it'll work eventually. So I think once it works, that's where reading books and podcasts take you a bit to the next level, where you get, like, maybe a 2-hour podcast, you'll get a 5-minute clip out of that, where that's
expand your vision.
Yeah, that will expand your vision and give you new ideas that will take you to the next level.
I would like to just comment at that as a summary. My boy, 6-year-old, he's already thinking about the business because I'm speaking to him about the business. And by looking on you, I'm gonna be definitely showing to him this episode, because he has to understand what to focus on in the young age and like how he can build the business even at 8. Because at 6, he wants to sell the cookies. Mama cooking, he is selling. I'm saying I'm gonna be your investor. First time free, second time you're gonna be paying me percentage. So like I'm teaching him in the way like to understand these principles, and you are just perfect example that there is no age limits. You guys like crushing it, and I really wish you good luck. Like those guys I'm partnering with, and I can say that they're real deal guys. As a young age, they have structure problems, but they dealing with that quite well. In the last 4 months, they improve a lot of structures on their end, and I'm like honest, I'm giving them shout out. But in the same, like they have lack of age experience, but they got that experience so fast that like I'm proud of you guys.
One thing I would say, like especially just for your son, dedicating to your son, was that
like say to my son, he gonna be watching it.
Yeah, just get your feet in the mud. That's all it is, and figure out later. It's all the most important part, taking action. Don't procrastinate.
Thank you so much for being here, and like thank you for sharing the value. Definitely like people out there are gonna be watching, and I hope they're gonna be asking questions, so maybe we'll reply to them.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Sorry.